Whatever works as long as it works. This basically sums up pragmatism in a nutshell. But let's take a deeper look into what pragmatism really is. Pragmatism is the American philosophy that our reality is based on our experiences and interactions. This includes our experiences with people, nature, and the world around us. Pragmatism says that the truth or meaning behind an idea lies not in anything metaphysical, but instead in observable consequences. With pragmatism, nothing is ever fixed, and reality is changeable. We judge our ideas not on actual fact, but on their practicality. Pragmatism asks, do our ideas work, or are they getting us to where we want to go? As we previously said, pragmatism is essentially whatever works as long as it works. If it stops working, it is no longer true. Since reality changes, whatever works will change along with it. This also means that the truth is changeable as well, so no one can possess the ultimate truth.
Pragmatism has three main founders: Charles Sanders Peirce, William James, and John Dewey, although James and Dewey are the most famous. Charles Sanders Peirce was the first person to use the term pragmatism in 1878. Peirce chose to focus on the meaning of ideas rather than whether or not they were true. He believed that an idea's meaning consists only of the practical consequences it might have. Pragmatism really didn't take off, however, until 20 years later, when psychologist and philosopher William James brought it up in 1898. James's pragmatic theory is often expressed as whatever works is truth. He believed that the consequences of an idea determined its meaning, and that the truth of the idea could be measured by whether the consequences worked positively in ordering a person's life. Another famous philosopher associated with pragmatism is John Dewey. Dewey was a philosopher of education who developed pragmatism into a theory of inquiry that he called instrumentalism. He believed that ideas are like instruments or tools that men can use to inquire about and solve their problems. Dewey thought that most problems are for the most part social in nature, and applied his pragmatic approach in social and educational theory.
Pragmatism has had a great effect on education today. In the classroom, students hypothesize, gather data, and evaluate material. There is a strong emphasis on the core curriculum, just as it is in schools today. Students learn instructional methods such as problem solving, collaborative learning, and deductive thinking. They work together and take control of their educational experiences. The teacher serves the class as a model for experimental knowledge by guiding the students to form their own ideas and ask their own questions. Pragmatism certainly encourages a hands-on approach to learning. In the book Spectacular Things Happen Along the Way, teacher and author Brian Schultz tells a true story about the students in his classroom and the curriculum they used to fight for a better school. The antiquated school was located in Chicago in the Cabrini Green district, and not a healthy environment for the children to learn. Mr. Schultz served as a facilitator of learning, but he allowed his students to call the shots. The students worked in groups to gather data about the school building. They learned math by determining the amount of money that would need to be raised in order to build a new school facility. The students practiced writing and grammar by constructing letters to the local newspapers and politicians advocating for a new school. Mr. Schultz emphasized the core curriculum by allowing students to learn through real-life experiences and interactions. As you can see, this teacher used many of the core values of pragmatism in his teaching. Hands-on experiences, group work, and experiencing learning by doing are just a few.